Yo, yo. Okay, I think we're live. I believe we are live. Yo. What's good, gang? I see you, man. Who we got in the chat today, man? We got J Sewell, we got Drill Bit, we got J17. We got Chris 90s, Leno says the setup's fire. Yeah, man, I'm on the road. Oh, almost forgot my coffee. Don't got my coffee pot, but I got that big old Starbucks, you know what I mean? Shout out to Starbucks. But yeah, man, I'm on the road and I'm down here in Florida, on the Gulf Coast, actually. First time on the Gulf Coast. Figure I'd try it out. But yeah, man, you know the show goes on. The show continues when we're out of town. We don't stop. We don't stop the show for anything, man. Yesterday I was traveling, so you know we didn't do the show yesterday. Oh, that reminds me. Let me send out a text to text game, man. We got Steven Cymatics on the show today, guys. Steven Cymatics is a gem master. Trust me when I tell you this. I linked up with Steven. Let me send out to text gang. I linked up with Steven back like in the end of 2019, and we went and got some ramen, man. Shout out to Jinya Ramen, Jinya gang. You know what I mean? And I'm just hitting all kinds of buttons today. You know what I mean? I'm in my bag with the buttons today. Let me send out this text to text gang real quick. Yo. I'm about to go live with Steven Cymatics. Gem emoji. Yes, sir. All right, let me send that out. But yeah, man, how was everybody's weekend, man? Let me see the chat. Make sure the chat is good. Live chat. Lou Lewis says eyes open, no fear. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot something here. I gotta make sure we put the Zoom link in the description too. Mods, I'm gonna ask you to please spam this too when the time is right for live Q&A. Join Zoom for live Q&A. All right. So the Zoom link is now in the description. You may have to like refresh the stream. Like if you're on your phone, just go back out to like the main timeline and then just click it again, or if you're on your laptop or whatever, you can just refresh the page. But let me get my chat back going, man. But yeah, so a couple things, man. I got my Starbucks. We got Steven on the show today. Like I said, shout out to Steven. I got my iPhone 11. I just got the iPhone 11, man. Shout out to 11 gang. I didn't get the Pro because I wanted the bigger screen. I didn't want to get the Pro Max because I was being cheap. So I got the 11. They said it's the same phone. The only difference is the camera, and we got cameras. You know what I mean? We don't need that great of a camera on the phone. We definitely got cameras. What's good, early gang? Yes sir. Is that a new hoodie? Nah, it's not a new hoodie. I haven't worn it in a while. You know, I thought I lost this hoodie, to be honest. I thought this hoodie was gone. I literally searched the entire house, and the crazy thing is, tell me if you ever did this. I swear, where I ended up finding it, I looked in that spot 4 times. Like I was like looking around the house. You know how when you look for something, you end up looking in the same place literally like multiple times because you just feel like it's gonna magically reappear. But yo, this shit actually did magically reappear. And I asked my girl, she said she didn't move it or anything. So I don't know what's going on. It was crazy. But I'm glad I got my hoodie back though, because I was really missing this hoodie. This is like my favorite hoodie, to be honest. I love the Beatmaker hoodies, but I love the Team PG hoodies. I want that paid the producer hoodie. Yeah, shout out. You got to go link up with Seasick. I don't know if he still has them. Maybe I have to hit him up and see if we can distribute those on our site. That'd be lit. But yeah, Abby, man, was good. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Abby, was good, man. You haven't tapped into the Q&A. How's everything been, man? But yeah, like I said, we got Steven Cymatics on the show today. Yeah, appreciate that, Jay Sewell. Appreciate you spamming the Zoom link. Go ahead and keep spamming it. Let everyone know if they want to tap in. Live Q&A, we'll probably get that going in about probably about like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long the interview goes with Cymatics. I mean, he's got a lot of gems to share, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a nice gemful, nice episode. But yeah, so let's see. Oh, Abby said I've been watching all of them. Appreciate that, man. Early gang shit. Working on graphics and watching the show. Ready for gems. Hey, appreciate that, De Niro. Anybody grabbed that? I know a lot of people grabbed that Type Beat art kit, and I haven't even really done like a full announcement on it. I just kind of put it up there on the site and just kind of see if people gravitate to it. Jolson was good, bro. My video is laggy, but the audio is good. Huh? Let me see. Let me check it. My connection is not the best here. And I haven't even really done like a full announcement on it. I just kind of let me see what I could do here. Let me see what I could do. Damn, 23% of the drop frames. Let me see what I could do. Let me see if there's any. I can't lower the bit rate or anything. I guess we're just gonna have to rock out. It's not that bad though, is it? Yeah, man, this connection's kind of cheeks here. Let me see. I'm not gonna end the stream. I'm not gonna do all that. That's kind of taking it overboard. All right, but I mean, as long as the audio's crispy, you know what I mean, we'll be good to go. Yeah, fuck it, the show goes on, Jolson. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you can hear the gems, you know what I mean, we'll be good to go. So let's go ahead, man. Let's see. We got some people in the waiting room too. And we got Cymatics in the waiting room, man. Let's blow up the chat for Steven, man. Let's give him a warm welcome. A warm early gang welcome. Yo. Yes, sir, man. Nah. We didn't forget about you, man. I had to warm up the early game. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're saying that the video is laggy, but the audio is perfect. So, I don't know, man. I'm in this Airbnb, and their internet connection is not the best, but we'll make the best of it, man. They said the audio is perfect. There's no lag in the audio, so you know what I mean. Oh no, it's not you. It's not you. It's me. Yeah, it's me, man. I'm in this Airbnb. But you know, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. The internet here at this Airbnb is not good. But I'm gonna stop my audio, or I'm gonna stop my video on the Zoom call because I think that'll probably help it a little bit. So you'll just be able to hear me. It won't be face to face like Genia vibes, but you know what I mean. I was telling him. Man, I'm in Florida, man. I'm where the outbreak is going crazy. They require it. So you know what I mean, if I go into a facility where they require it, you know what I mean, I happily do it. Nah. Man, I got a feeling I got the antibodies, man. I don't know. I just got a feeling I got them. So I think I'm good to go. I'm a walking vaccine. Oh wait, hold on. Leno's calling me. Hold on. Yo. Oh, you can't hear Steven. Okay, bet. Let me fix that. All right.
Zoom master when it comes to this shit.
No, we're good, man. So yeah, so appreciate you though, man. So yeah, they haven't heard you up until now, man. There's always something going on with me with this technical stuff, but we got it going.
Damn, bro.
We got Steven on the show. You know what I mean? What'd you say? Right, we're already been dropping gems. We've been dropping Corona gems, antibodies gems.
Yeah, you missed all the gems already.
But yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good now. Dope to have you on the show, bro. Like I told them before you got on the show, that we linked up back in the fall, and we just kind of bouncing ideas, man. And you dropped a lot of gems on me with as far as the marketing stuff, and I just think that we can relate a lot of the stuff that me and you have personally talked to over this past, like, what, half a year or whatever, maybe a little more than half a year.
Mm-hmm.
And just everything that you've done, building Cymatics up from the ground up. The things you tried and maybe didn't work on the way, the things that really did work. I went to your seminar that you had in Atlanta, and there was crazy gems there about building your fan base. About most artists and producers don't really focus on building their own channels, like email lists and text lists and stuff like that. And that's one of the main things I've kind of preached on this show since the beginning, is just like kind of that kind of stuff, like the stuff that is maybe not so glamorous, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the difference maker. So I guess, man, we'll get into all that, but let's hear a background on you, man. Let's hear your come up story, man.
Yeah. So, I remember back in 2013, 2012, me and Drew were just making a shit ton of music out there. Kind of your average producer putting shit on
How long have
SoundCloud.
you known Drew? Are you guys like childhood friends, or how'd you link up?
Oh, dude, fucking, we linked up. We linked up in 7th grade playing baseball. We were on the same baseball team.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's kind of how it got started. And it was kind of funny because I came back from a trip one time, family trip. I come back and I was kind of like in a winter vacation. Like, what the fuck do I do? I was still in school, and I was like freshman year of college maybe. But just I remember sitting there, man, like, man, I'm either going to play more World of Warcraft or I want to like start making music. I remember that my buddy showed me FL Studio one time. I was like, oh, this shit's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? And then, so when I downloaded it, I started messing around with it a little bit. Then I was thinking, I was like, dude, who do I know that makes music? You know what I'm saying? Because not many people really made music back, 2012. It just wasn't very common at your school or something, right? And I remember that guy, Drew. I was like, oh shit, Drew. I was like, my old buddy. I was like, yeah, he makes music. So we actually, I shot him a message on Facebook. We actually started playing Halo together, right? Started fucking around to Halo. We linked up a few times, started making music together. And then honestly, that was kind of like a fun thing for me, because that was like our first real kind of venture together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like already 4 or 5 years ahead. So one of the cool parts is that I got like a major boost. You know what I'm saying? Just cut like years off the learning curve, because a lot of the shit he just already been making beats essentially for a long time. I started showing him electronic music. We did that for a while. Had some decent success. A couple songs with 100,000 plays, but like nothing too crazy. And especially with electronic music, weren't aiming for placements or anything.
Were they like on SoundCloud getting those plays, or what were you guys doing?
Honestly, man, one thing we just focused on, we used to collect emails out of every single submission. Like back in the day, like the music blogs were really big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we would just submit our music as many places as we could, different YouTube channels, just doing crazy fucking outreach. A lot of shit that honestly taught us a lot about just the internet and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and hustling and that kind of thing. But we essentially ended up splitting off. I did my own music project for a while. Drew did his own thing for a while. And I bumped into this dude at a party one time. And he told me about Google AdWords. And I was trying to figure out unique ways to promote my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the fuck Google AdWords was. And I was like, what the fuck is that? He's like, dude, you can bid on stuff on top of Google. And you can send people to your website or something. I was like, damn, can I like send people to my music and all that? And I started DMing, hundreds of people, asking them how you got on this channel, right? Because these big music channels, I saw all these no-name artists, and I just DM every single one of them. I made a giant spreadsheet with their answers, and I'm just trying to get down to like how you get discovered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was my rabbit hole of really eventually being introduced to a lot of different business people online, and then really just learning about like, business shit, which, had no interest to me up to that point until I started getting fascinated with really how it worked and stuff. And I started learning more about the music business side of things. And then eventually just got into like a lot of different stuff, like Facebook ads were really hot in the early days.
That's crazy to me, because you kind of give me the vibe that you're like lifelong, like marketing business guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me, because it just kind of seems like, like when I think of you, I definitely think of like marketing and business and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, so I think that, doing, making music for, over 5 years, that was actually an important step, because a lot of people try to market to the music industry or something. It comes off wrong. I'm like, nobody gives a shit about, producers care about producer shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, even marketing content, business content, I don't even think it all translates one for one. You know what I'm saying? But while I was going in on all that stuff, I had a bunch of failed companies. And essentially, I re-linked up with Drew, actually at like a concert or something. And he, while I went into the business world, he went super, super deep on sound design. I mean, the dude was producing like 16 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Getting really good at massive drum design, all that kind of great stuff, you know?
Word.
And then the magic happened was we relinked back up. I had a moment where one of the companies I was running called Nimbus Media back in the day, running two friends, weren't really making any money, but they both called me one day in a group call and they said, "Hey man, we're going to quit what we're doing here. It's nothing's working, you know?"
What
So
was
imagine
that? That
working
was
on a project.
like a social media marketing agency, or?
Yeah, just like trying to help out local businesses in like 2014, 2015. You know, we had
Word.
like one client pay us a couple $100. My aunt was paying us, you know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. But then, you know, I had tried so many different ideas, and then I linked up with Drew, and then he actually started a site called cymaticsound.com before that. It just sold a couple sound packs, and we also had the idea of starting a dreadlock store. Sounds funny, like selling dreadlock beads. I tried to start an e-commerce store for supplements and vitamins out of my aunt's organic grocery store. Tried all kinds of shit, but honestly, the reason that didn't work is I wasn't a dude who was into supplements and shit. You know, I didn't know anything about the organic
That's
industry,
key.
but
That's key.
I think there was some magic happen when me and Drew linked back up. We had already had a lot of experience being partners together. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, and we both understood music really well. Like I understood who we were trying to do stuff for, and Drew was amazing at sound design and creating products, you know? So we launched that business, and literally we launched in August of 2015. And then within 7 months, we were making over 100 grand a month. And now we're about to hit year 5. And it was just explosive growth. And I think one of the reasons it just did so well is that we have 2 people that are, you know, we both hustle very hard at very different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact that Drew gets to freely go in on product as hard as I get to freely go in on really the business side, you know, building relationships, doing that kind of stuff kind of gives us like the best of both worlds while still being able to stay in our own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. But man, we can't just, you know, 0 to 7 months, 100 grand. We can't just breeze over that, man. What were some of the things that you guys were doing successfully off bat? And if there were any, what were some of the things you were doing unsuccessfully off bat?
Yeah, I mean, dude, back in the day, so we started the company with less than $200, you know?
Yeah.
And a couple different things on the marketing side, and that I believe is kind of overlooked. So I think a lot of guys like you and me like praise marketing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't, sometimes marketing guys don't praise product enough for really being a very important piece of marketing. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of music producers out there, your products are your songs. Like sometimes guys try to jump straight into the process of promote their music and their songs are ass, you know, and it's kind of like a multiplier. It's like product times marketing equals your end result. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the same goes for selling beats, because we always talk about that. Like when is too early, and you know, when are you waiting? But
yeah,
not to interrupt you.
Everybody probably tries to start selling beats 3 years too early. You know what I'm saying? And
Damn, 3.
and then so yeah, dude, in the early days, people are just not, dude, I see it all the time. I listen to thousands and thousands of fucking entries on our song contest. Dude, people aren't there, man. They literally aren't there. I ran a recent song contest and just every single one really wasn't that great, if I'm being honest. Like we picked a winner, but like there wasn't something where like, man, this is fucking awesome. Because a lot of people are just glossing over, like learning the foundations, taking enough time to try to rush into like making it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for us, you know, back to how this ties to how Cymatics did well is that, I mean, first off, Drew was making some really, really crazy stuff with sound design. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff he was making in Serum in 2015, and we got started in the EDM world. It was like revolutionary, you know? And then on the marketing side, I mean, I was just we were just scrappy motherfuckers who did a lot of guerrilla marketing, right? So, I mean, going on Facebook ads, adding ourselves into 60 different Facebook groups, posting in all of them. We were collecting, probably one of the first people to start collecting emails at scale. We did, you know, we collected so many fucking emails because at the end of the day, I think it's one of the most important things is building lists. But yeah, really Facebook groups is where we got started, man. And we started adding people on our friend account. So your Facebook account could have 5,000 friends, right?
Yeah.
So then if I saw an ad, let's say one of my competitors had a Facebook ad that they had put all this money into, I would just go to the ad and just fucking add everybody.
Friend everyone.
Super scrappy stuff, trying to, you know, make posts go viral on Reddit. But
that's the shit, bro. That's the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't got budget in the beginning, like I don't understand why more people don't do that type of stuff. Like for anything online, like people are just like, oh yeah, I don't have the money to do the ads. This shit don't work. But they're not doing that. Like that.
I mean, to this day, I still, my organic efforts, like the shit I do that doesn't cost any money, but it's just like my working hard towards something. It's still much stronger than any dollar I can spend. You know what I'm saying? So it's still to this day, effort definitely trumps money. Like Like, dude, I could have no dollars and me and Drew could fucking rebuild this thing instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But yeah, so, and then the other thing is that, dude, you know, there's a lot of debates, for example, on free beats, or, you know, a lot of plugin companies don't put out free shit. A lot of sample pack companies try to charge royalties and everything. Like, from the very, very, very beginning, we understood how valuable it was to have essentially something digital, right? And then we essentially gave away as much free stuff as humanly possible, right? Because essentially that got our name out there. More people were willing to try us, right? If we sell a pack, let's say for $100 versus give away one for free, 1 out of every 100 people might buy that $100 one. But when we gave away something for free, 80 to 90% of the people might download it because it's free. All of a sudden, if that product's really great, we have 80 to 90 people now who are spreading word of mouth and sharing the news about the product. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to this day, I think one of the reasons we grew so fast is because we were like religious about giving away as much free stuff and value as possible, the best products possible. And honestly, something really important, I think, is that we have me and Drew. You know, I think that companies that don't have 2 people like that have to be extra disciplined on focus. Because if you don't have a partner, like, I think a lot of even producers and stuff should get a partner to run the business side of things or something like that, so they can solely focus on music. Because at the end of the day, if you are putting out content, if you are trying to build websites and stuff, that is taking away from your music. And the way to get the best of both worlds is actually to get somebody that's as good as you in that world. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's Gary Vee says that all the time too. You know,
Yeah,
if you're an artist, or you're like, you know, even like a painter or something, it's like you focus on the art, and then, you know, get someone that's passionate about your art, but they're also like their specialty is like the music, but they're passionate about partnering with you and pushing your shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get involved in it. I definitely think you should. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Drew, you know, we talk about product, we talk about marketing together, we talk about all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I think one of the reasons we're really successful, like I said, is just because we're like a combo, you know, because at the end of the day, like running whether it be a music project, a company, a brand, a YouTube channel, doesn't matter what the fuck you're trying to do. This thing's a fucking marathon. You are going to be literally working, trying new stuff, experimenting for years and years and years and years to come. Like, we're approaching year 5. It feel like it's been a lifetime. And with that being said, like, you need to have somebody just to bounce ideas with, somebody to take the workload off you if you're not feeling good, somebody who can cover your weaknesses, you know? So I think people overlook, you know, they might copy some of the stuff Cymatics is doing to try and like replicate success. But at the end of the day, they don't realize that. I think that an important aspect is having a good partner. I know it sounds crazy. I haven't even said that in a video really, but now that we're talking about it a little bit, I think that's an important thing that's helped us keep up this pace, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, man, by the way, we got Illmind and Larry O in the building, man. Shout out to the homies, man.
Oh, what up? What up?
But yeah, man. So let's talk. I mean, talking about, you know, still talking about the come up, but let's kind of relate this maybe, because, you know, like I said, I like to preach email list building. Whether you're, you know, trying to sell kits, trying to sell beats, trying to sell anything, man. What are some suggestions you would say to like a guy out there right now? Like, say his beats are ready. You know, he's been making beats for a few years. They're fire. He's ready to, you know, try this selling beats online thing. What would be like, you know, you right now, day one, if you had to do it, what would be, and you're starting from zero, what would you do?
Okay. So first off, I mean, obviously there's 2 different routes in the beat scene, right? You got the placement side of things and you got the beat selling side of things. And I kind of have some advice for both, because even though I don't do that, I have different elements of Cymatics that very much relate to it. So the first part is beat selling, right? And beat selling is just simply e-commerce. You see what I'm saying? You run a website, you know, you put out stuff. It's almost the same thing as sample packs if you really break it down. And I would do right now, if I had to start a beat selling website and I had $0, nothing except for, like, say, a handful of beats, like, I would definitely put together probably a pack of free beats and put it out via email. But the thing I would do is I would get real scrappy. So I would probably go to every single Facebook group possible. I would go to every single Reddit thread. I would hit up all these different Instagram pages, and I would do as much guerrilla marketing as possible towards getting those free beats promoted. Hopefully they're good enough to build a brand for myself, a name for myself. You see what I'm saying? And I would really just keep working on that and trying to just distribute as much as possible. Like, I almost think that if you're trying to go beat sales and stuff, you should be cautious about content, and you should be cautious about starting a YouTube channel, a TikTok account, an Instagram. And this is coming from a guy I built 250,000 followers. Drew built 300,000 followers over the course of a year and a half. We put out over 1,000 pieces of content. it's not that that doesn't work. It's that when you're early on, you're only one person, or even if you're only two, you only have so much time. You have to focus. You have to pick one goal. I'm just going to do this one thing. They say if you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either one. To this day, I'm very cautious about focus, because when you're doing a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of email collection, a little bit of trying to do text message shit, trying to do TikTok, I mean, you literally won't get fucking anywhere. You see what I'm saying? And I think one of the things that is super important is just laser focus. There's a book called The One Thing that really talks about this. I think doing one thing is really, really well means a lot more. Like, for example, there's a lot of YouTube producers out there who try to be sample pack companies, who try to be Instagrammers, TikTokers, right? They might have 50 to 100,000 YouTube subscribers. By doing all those other things, they're limiting themselves from becoming the next Andrew Hong, the next Genius style page, the next this. You see what I'm saying? Everything has a cost and how much energy you take. And I think that really having focus is important. You know, so in the early days, I would just try to literally get my free beats out to as many people as humanly fucking possible, build an email list. And then as that email list gets bigger, I would then eventually just, you know, I would come up with paid stuff that's probably more on an exclusive level and try to sell it and make money, you know?
So in order to give these beats out and build your list, are you doing a Gabe style, like landing page, or how are you doing that?
I mean, I would do, okay, so two things. You said Gabe style landing page. Yes, I would do landing page. No, I would not do Gabe style, okay? Because the reason I'm saying that is I don't believe in the spammy looking shit, you know what I'm saying? I tell Gabe this all the time. I don't believe in the crazy looking, like, dude, if it's good, like, you don't need 10 paragraphs on the fucking page, right? If it's a fucking beat, guess what your product is you need to show off? Just have something where they can listen to the beat and put in their email. It doesn't need to be complicated. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about for like the free beats. So are you going to do an upsell, or are you just giving out free beats?
I would start just by giving away free beats
and build that list up. Free beats.
Yeah, I would build. I mean, you know, so I would. So right there, when you said do an upsell, like I still think that's too much in the internet marketing world. That it's not. I don't think you need that much going into it. You know, I think just doing free beats and then every once in a while releasing a premium set or something like that would be good. But that's on like the beat selling side. Like, yeah, a lot of e-commerce tricks works for people trying to get placements. I'm not saying that we've had placements or stuff like that, because obviously we work on the sample pack side of the industry. But what I will say is that, you know, your relationships are fucking everything. And a couple things that really helped us with the relationship side is that, one, having something valuable to give people. Like Dylan, I think you've done a great job with ProducerGrind, that you've built a platform that's now an engine for relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've probably met so many different people. I mean, I've seen on your show, you've met so many different people in the industry through your platform, you know, and figuring a way to provide people value, to kind of be a cool guy, not asking, being needy or shit like that. I think that goes a long way, you know what I'm saying, to building those relationships in the industry. And that side acts a lot different. Sometimes I think even some of the beat sale guys hurt themselves because they're you know, being a placement guy and a beat sale guy are two different things. So you got to think about the branding of each one, you know?
No, for sure, man. Yeah, the bit, and you know, it's crazy. Like the relationship building aspect wasn't even like one of like the main goals, but then it kind of just became like, oh shit, I'm actually building these relationships, and that's how, you know, we started doing the events and stuff, because I'm like, you know what, we just had such and such on the podcast. Let me hit him up and see if he wants to do an event and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's really big.
Events are fire, you know. Even you'd be surprised. So when we did podcasts, I met more people in 3 months doing a podcast that, by the way, didn't get that many plays. You guys' plays like trumped our podcast, right? But for us, it was just one of our experiments, you know, that Gary recommended. We tried it out. But like relationship wise, it was one of the best things we've ever done. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. We have something called the Artist Series. We put out free packs with big artists. Like, we offer a lot of value. We're like, hey, we'll email out, you know, 1.6 million producers your free pack. You know, they'll have to follow you on Instagram to get your downloads and stuff like that. That's a cool thing we can offer that's valuable. You know what I'm saying? Sharing their content or stuff like that. We always look for just a way to provide a lot of value and not ask for shit in return. Like, dude, 100%. People are needy, trying to get too quick to business, man. They're like, huge turnoff.
No, for sure, for sure. Man, and I know you don't sell beats online, but to be honest, I like talking to people that don't sell beats online, that sell other things. and ask them what their strategy would be, because I feel like when we do ask guys that sell beats online, 99% of the time it's been like, yeah, man, I just uploaded to YouTube and eventually happened. But I know that for every one of those guys, there's like 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 guys that try to do the same thing and nothing happened because they never did anything that they have control of, like building a list or building, you know what I mean, anything like that. And so, like I said, for every one guy that finds that success, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of guys that don't. So that's why I really appreciate talking to guys like you about what they would do, like what their attempt would be. And I think that's why Gabe was so successful with what he did, because he took the Russell Brunson ClickFunnels approach and just did it differently, and, you know, had more control in that sense. I say that to say, because Drillbit asked how many people in your list, how many people would you build your list to before you tried utilizing it to actually monetize it?
I mean, it sounds aggressive, but the number I like to tell people is 10,000. Get 10,000 people to download your thing. I think that'll start you off with a pretty good base. Let's say you get 10,000 people and you can convert, let's say, I don't know, 100 into a beat pack that's worth $100, right? That's 10 grand. Getting $1 back for every email on your list is pretty good.
Yeah, hell yeah, most definitely. And honestly, if you're hustling, doing all the things, all the guru things, the guerrilla tactics that you were doing, you could hit 10,000 in a couple months, maybe even less if you're really hustling.
I mean, I think we hit it in under 30 days, honestly.
Word.
And no following or nothing. Yeah, just trying as much as fucking possible. Because one Reddit post, I went on the top of Reddit, we put out some free sounds we recorded at Walmart. It got like 7,000 emails alone.
Now, how do you do that? Because I thought Reddit doesn't like you do landing pages, or was this it was a different back then?
It worked for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't work forever, but that was just the early days. You know what I'm saying? Trying all different kinds of stuff. And to be honest, man, I've kind of like evolved out of the business and marketing world a little bit to a new philosophy. I was trying to tell you about this. Remember we talked a couple months ago. Dude, there's like also other ways to really get exposure out there and build your brand that can also coincide with your sound. So like another way to get buzz is also to do more interesting stuff on the sound side itself. You know what I'm saying? So like my marketing can only go so far. I can only say so much in an email. I can only say so much in a video or something like that. But if we take a look at our actual core product and do things like, for example, we invested over 100 grand into synthesizers, like old school shit. We have a story to tell. That's kind of interesting, right? You see this with like the big YouTubers, right? They don't just do tutorial anymore. They're like, hey, I'm going to make a beat with guys on Fiverr. There's like a story behind the concept. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I think is interesting for producers is if you kind of have like a little bit of like a story and kind of like a brand around it, your marketing actually becomes a lot easier and it spreads more actually organically. And then when you apply some of the things like email collection and all that other good marketing stuff, it essentially works better. It's like a better multiplier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. So it's like do cool shit, be unique, and then input it. Don't just be generic like everyone else and try to do it.
Yes. Some people think you just keep shoving in the marketing side. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if you also make the product cooler, the sounds cooler, you know what I'm saying? Bring in live instrumentation, start getting some unique shit. All of a sudden, that marketing makes it slap a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? And one time we did a project where, you know, Drew traveled all over the place and recorded live sounds. You know what I'm saying? He went to the beach, he went to like all these different spots, these wilderness spots, and all of a sudden it became super, super unique. And that story was easy to tell from a marketing perspective. I know this is a weird thing to kind of bring up, but like there is a lot that you can do these days, especially with content, video content, all that stuff, to make songs kind of interesting and kind of tell a story. I think YouTubers are probably one of the best examples, you know?
What do you mean by that?
Like YouTubers now, they can't just make like the era of like FL Studio beginner tutorials over, right? And nowadays it's always interesting. I made a really cool beat with this instrument. You know, I did, like Andrew Hong, I froze a microphone and made a song out of it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you got to do that, but I'm saying is there is stuff you can do to actually make the thing you're trying to market a lot better, you know?
I get it. Yeah, you definitely got to. It's like you got to. The vlogging tactics kind of came into play as of recently.
Yeah, you know, you can just make it a part of the story about your brand, you know, and that's why I brought up the thing kind of at the beginning about just this deeper realization recently that me and Drew being able to focus on two completely different things. You know what I'm saying? Like he can do that 100% of his mind space and not worry about any of the business side. and I can do the business side 100% with not worrying about the product not being there. And when you're able to combine those two, it's a really, really big deal, you know?
You being so business and marketing savvy, you think that you would be able, and I'm not saying this to take anything away from Drew, but do you think you could manage it all, be the sound design producer guy and do all the marketing yourself and still be pretty successful?
No chance. No chance in hell.
Not at all. Not even like a light 6 figures a year.
I mean, yeah, I could do that, but like I'm talking like to even come close to where Cymatics is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely believe I could do that, but I don't believe that we would be even a fraction, not even a fourth of where we are today alone. And like I said, there's just too much stuff, man. At the end of the day, when I did events, all right, so there was a point where, I mean, you know about this, we were doing events. I was doing speaking events. I was touring and hosting these big, you know, Cymatics artist nights for people sharing their music. I was doing a podcast, flying people in town nonstop. We're creating products, launching them. I'm trying to run YouTube channel. Like, dude, there was so many different things that we were doing. We're still working hard. Trust me, working hard as fuck. But the problem is that there was too many different things. We were essentially only doing everything about 20%. And one of the big breakthroughs is like the past 4 months, dude, I've made more profit in the past 4 months than the past 4.5 years of business. Okay. When this coronavirus thing hit, and it's not that more producers are sitting in their bedroom, you know, doing whatever. All my abilities to do podcasts, events, and all this other random shit we were doing got cut off. And that's when I learned the true value of focus.
You freed up that mental bandwidth.
Dude, the numbers skyrocketed. The website visitors skyrocketed. The downloads skyrocketed. Our product quality skyrocketed because we weren't having conversations of other random shit. And sometimes a lot of people think that, oh, I could just do this. It's only going to take 10 minutes or something like that, right? And I kind of look at this like watching a movie, okay? If you go watch a movie, let's say the movie's an hour and a half long. That only takes an hour and a half of your time. But think about the amount of time you spend after that movie talking about it, thinking about it. You might have a fucking dream about it. You might be sitting in the shower thinking about it. You might talk to a buddy about it. You might think about going there before you went, right? There's a lot of padding on how much mind space you spend on tasks.
That's a gem,
Does that make sense?
That's a
and dude, there's so much you realize that you're doing that doesn't mean shit. And to be able to really find out what is working best for you and seeing what's working best for us, what's not working, what makes me like, dude, another thing is eliminating stress. So a lot of the stuff that stressed out me and Drew, trying to be a podcast host, trying to do the YouTube channel, doing all the Instagram content, it's not that it didn't work. It's that it didn't fit our DNA and it stressed us the fuck out. So when we really focused on the stuff we were absolute best at, that matched up with our strengths, that also was the most things that was the best for Cymatics, we found like a flow state. And I'm telling you, man, 4 months ago when we found that answer, it was huge. But the thing is that the flow state we're in has a lot to do with who me and Drew are as people. So, for example, you, Dylan, doing the exact same things as us might hurt you because your state of flow, like you're on the way to becoming the next genius. You see what I'm saying? And essentially, there was one point where I was chasing Gary V. I was chasing some TikTok shit, chasing all this shit that had less to do with what made Cymatics successful and what made us happy and what has done well for us, and it had more to do with looking at everybody else. And at the end of the day, like your brand, your business is like a ship that you create that only you can operate. And if you try to put in controls from somebody else's design, that works for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, man, it took us to a whole nother level. And it's kind of a higher level concept a lot of people wouldn't even understand. Because in the beginning stage, you do have to kind of copy people and try out different stuff. But you're copying people and you're experimenting to learn more about yourself and what works for you and what you like to do. Because you're going to be doing this shit for 30 years. And at the end of the day, your happiness, your stress, all that stuff, it has to be fun, it has to be easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a big thing for us.
No, that's big shit. And, we had this conversation a couple months ago talking about, not having shiny new object syndrome, not really like going upstream, just kind of like you just said, going with the flow.
Dude, yes, not going upstream, man. There's certain things, like for example, I think there's certain people, like especially on the EDM side of the world, right? They all play shows. It's all in the producer side of that world. It's all about shows, and obviously, shows aren't around because coronavirus right now. But like, if those guys are super awkward and maybe introverted and just like to work on music all day, them by building a business around shows is essentially making them unhappy. And I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? And even let's say somebody who's, doesn't have the best social skills and stuff, maybe doing a beat selling store makes more sense than placements and getting the studio people if you don't really like to do that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by people chasing what everybody else is seeing, essentially they're missing out on the real gem, which is figuring out more about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it, man. I get it.
Some crazy shit. I've been on some weird shit lately.
No,
it's been working,
we had that deep conversation a couple months ago. You're like, bro, I've been really having some changes. Figuring out some shit. And man, honestly, every time we talk, bro, I always kind of leave off and kind of it kind of heads me down a different direction too. Like even when we first linked, we were doing a certain revenue, and just talking to you and hearing you kind of mention the kind of numbers that you were doing without saying the numbers you were doing, just kind of I don't even know what, not hinting at, but whatever. Just, I was like, damn, bro, I'm not doing shit. I was like, I got to step this shit up. I got to stop spreading myself so thin, because, we did a lot of good shit, like the brand, like the events and stuff that were good for branding. But I think it was to a point where it's like, okay, it's not time to be 95% branding, 5% revenue. It's time to, maybe chill out on that. We built a good brand. Let's try to, increase the revenue so we can do more, so we can be more effective. We can do more shit. And yeah, man, but that spreading yourself thin is big.
Kind of comes down to what I was saying earlier. Like, people are spreading themselves too thin, trying to do too much shit. You know what I'm saying? To really get to that zone, you really got to understand the few things that are easy for you, that are your strengths and make you happy, and just focus on that. And so, for example, I was doing hella content. I had Cymatics Instagram, Drew did his Instagram, I did my Instagram, and we even had a Cymatics show Instagram, running 4 Instagrams, post over 1,000 pieces of content in a year and a half. Since March, I posted about 8 times, 10 times maybe, right? But I've made 4 to 5 times more money. And the reason is that when I poured, it's like we were like a bucket that was full, right? We couldn't add in any more ideas because our bucket was so damn full. When we poured a lot of shit out, we created room for growth, room to think again about optimizing the stuff that we realized that we thought it was good. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We thought that certain things we did was awesome, but we were just turned out we were actually half-assing it because we were doing so many different things,
Yeah, nah, for sure, man.
An easy way to think about, Dylan, even think about this with you. Like, what's one thing that stresses you the fuck out that you put off? What task do you put off and you kind of dread doing, but you feel like you have to do it for work?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of shit. I'm never good at on the spot coming up with shit.
Yeah,
but
might be graphics, might be Facebook ads. There might be just that thing that you're like, fuck, man, I got to do that thing. It stays on your to-do list for so long. Dude, just cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the part that, scares me for a lot of the music industry is that sometimes this business world is the best thing in the world. And sometimes the business world is what causes you to lose a lot of focus on getting your music actually to where it needs to be and getting into the right zone. So I'm not discouraging people from taking this advice per se. I want to encourage people to really listen to their own internal, who they are, what their strengths are, and try stuff out. But if it's not for you, it might not be for you. And I know there's people out there that are preaching that it's it. And this is coming from a guy who does a lot of fucking internet marketing. You know what I'm saying? But there might be some magic out there to listening to yourself more than people. And this is why I stopped doing my show, Nothing But Sauce. I stopped putting out content. I stopped doing that because I almost went backwards. I started, instead of studying a new book, I studied Cymatics. Instead of trying to listen to some YouTuber, I started listening to our producer audience. Instead of doing all this other random shit, events, podcasts, I started making more music, started using our products more. See what I'm saying? And honestly, I went back to deciding, I was like, dude, I don't need to be teaching shit. I need to be a student of the game. You know what I'm saying? I need to grind it out for a couple more years. I'm not ready to fucking go out here and spout shit. This is the first time people heard of me in so long. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back, I went to this deep place of focus, simplicity. And I think that there's a lot there in upcoming producers to really figure out what they're trying to build, where they're trying to go. And honestly, just be careful of that shiny object syndrome we talk about, And this even ties back to having a partner, because when you can have somebody do that on the business side, and then you have somebody going in, like you might be yourself on the beat side, right? And by the way, guys, whoever's listening to this, you might like either one. Who knows? But so Drew's able to get that same amount of focus on our product. So when we cut all the other shit, we have multiple products being worked on in the background. We're managing over 40 plus producers. We're bringing on great guys on the team. We're evolving the product, investing a lot. We have plugins in development now, right? I wasn't able to get plugins in development by doing 40 different things. You see what I'm saying? 2 different public plugins actually. And we realized the future of us wasn't chasing to be the next Gary V. It was actually leading towards being the next Native Instruments or Spectrasonics or Isotope. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by seeing that, coming to those kind of realizations, it put us in a good flow, man. And I'm not reading books right now. I'm not fucking watching influencers. I'm literally just trying to keep, studying cymatics in our own audience to go to the next level. And it's been a game changer for me.
No, most definitely. I know you went and you spent some time with Gary V. Now, obviously, I'm sure there was some game changing stuff and some breakthroughs and stuff that you had there. But then, probably as time evolved, like, your mindset now, there's probably a lot of things that you started to do from that you realized wasn't really you. So can you talk about that? Like, start with, going to meet Gary V. What were some of the main things that, you kind of learned? And then what were some of those things that you kind of like shed it off? You're like, nah, you know what? That was a little too much.
So first off, I'm happy for trying a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret fucking anything. But yeah, he had this program. It was called the 4Ds program. I think it was like $10 or $10,000 a person. And then you could also get you could bring a camera guy for like, I don't know, $5,000 or something, like $2,000. And then so Drew was like, fuck it, let's just film this. It'll be cool anyways. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of, but it was for both of us essentially. And we've gone 2 years in a row. And essentially what it was is it's just a consulting thing. And that kind of goes back, dude. I needed to just kind of learn some more, and try to figure out what works for me. And dude, we tried so much different stuff. And a lot of stuff that Gary said, honestly, works great for building brand. The stuff is amazing for building brand. And he taught us a lot about just the value of putting out content out there, how to hire employees and stuff. But what I did was I probably tried 100 different things that Gary recommended and kept like 2. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the 2 things I did kept were really, really, really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with trying 100 things and keeping 2 things. That kind of comes back to that pouring out the bucket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And trying to find that zone of focus. And for example, the way he treats his employees, and we talked to his chief heart officer, which is the number 2 person at Vayner. The way he talked about treating his employees good, being transparent, finding the right people for your team. That was really, really, really more important than saying, go do videos on TikTok. But it's overlooked because it wasn't even in the Gary video, because there's 8 other sessions like that in the 4Ds programs that are pretty vital. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Talked to some guys about some higher level advertising stuff. That was really great. But just seeing inside these $100 million companies, it kind of at least rubs off on you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's big. Yeah, I feel like that's big. Like just being around, like it's not even so much what he can teach you or what he can show you. It's just like you said, like seeing that behind the scenes and just being a sponge in that environment.
Sometimes I like being put in my place. If I'm being real, I like knowing like, damn, somebody's my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like even just that, just knowing like, fuck, we ain't doing shit, man. Gary's over here doing 300 million in revenue. I'm in a floor full of employees. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing that you're sometimes that shit fires me up, just because I'm pretty competitive of a person. So
hell yeah, it's at first it's like a fucking punch to the chest, you know what I mean? But then but it really kicks you in the ass. It really motivates you out, man. I can attest to that, bro. But I think like for me, man, just like you said, just being there, and seeing how it works, and like, okay, this is real. Like I can touch this desk, like I can see these employees, I can see Gary. This is actually what he's doing. He's doing 300 million, and this is how he's doing it. And you can just, you can take so much from that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so, man. And this has actually caused me to hit up some of my old mentors just to talk to them. But like, talking back about that self-awareness thing now. When I talk to some of the guys from Gary's team, or I have a mentor named Neil Patel, talk to sometimes Alpha M. I don't know if you guys heard of him, Aaron Marino. He's got a guy, he used to live down the street from me. He's got 6 million YouTube subscribers, way, way higher level than I am. Sometimes when I talk to those people, they might have something that they think is the best thing in the world that's working for them. And it probably does work for them. But I know for a fact that doesn't always translate. So now when I hear new ideas, I have a very strong filter that goes through. And 99.9% of the new ideas I hear, I don't even chase anymore. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something really specific. I'm like, okay, this does really vibe with my strengths. What seems like it meshes with what we're already doing. It adds to our focus, not takes it away.
100%, man. What's some new shit, man? What's on your mind like these past couple weeks, like since the last time we talked, man? Like if you haven't already gone over that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, like I said, man, that thing about, taking the marketing to the next level through better products, we've like really been a fan of that. And like the plugin stuff is really exciting for us. So one thing we kind of have going on in the background is that a couple of our top guys, we took, like, for example, some of their best processing chains, let's say in Ableton or something, with all the different plugins they're using to get some really cool compression and different things to make their low end really hit hard. And we're like, hey, let's take these 6 really useful plugins in combination. Let's turn it into one knob on this plugin, right? And then let's put about 6 knobs on this plugin to give people a lot of control on essentially the essentials. And we asked our producers, like, what are the 5 plugins that if you only could use 5, what would you use, right? And we're taking that, and one by one, we're trying to create like really the best plugins out there, and probably going to put out a lot of free stuff. Going to have a lot of awesome played plugins, but that shit's been getting me excited. Melody loops, melody loop game, I fucking love it, man. Dude, we got a lot of loop creators on our team, and it's really fun and exciting to really try and keep innovating on that. So we just put out a pack called Chaos. The full pack is going to have over 500 melody loops, and not many people put stuff out at that scale. But yeah, we're going to have 500 melody loops in that thing, so I'm pretty pumped. We gave away 50 for free, so if people want to try it out, that's cool. But yeah, man, just trying to innovate on product, honestly, man, and then try to move fucking fast, dude. I used to do a product launch every 7 months. Now I'm moving fast as fucking hell. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of, like I said, we got 40 plus producers, across the board working on different projects now. So it's kind of exciting for us because we get to juggle a little bit, but everything still, like I said, has to go through that filter and make sense and be kind of easy for us to manage,
So yeah, man, talk about like moving at a faster pace, because to me, I try to think of that balance of like, I wanna drop often, but I don't wanna like be too like shoving shit down the fans' throats and like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And I know you and us both give out free stuff in between. But talk about that, man, because one thing I'll say is I'm kind of coming to the realization too, like not every pack is for everyone. Like, some like, the pack you drop in January, maybe half of your fans are like, yo, this is the one I need. But then the other half, they don't. And then if you drop in February, that might be the pack for the second half. And the first half is like, nah, I'm cool. So like, talk about that.
Yeah. So I think speed is up there with the top 3 most important things in business, branding, running a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. Speed is so important because at the end of the day, there's so much failure in fucking business. The faster you can move, the better. And you'd be surprised, man. Like, if you do a good job marketing and stuff, people don't give a shit. Like, for example, there's some companies, let's say Nintendo. Nintendo comes out the new Smash Brothers video game. I would be fucking pumped, right? I'm so excited for those companies to release shit. I'm upset when they're not releasing shit. You know what I'm saying? So if the product quality is good, the audience does not give a fuck how much you're releasing out there. But in general, I think speed is important. There's probably people listening to this sitting on beats, right, that they plan on releasing in 3 months. Fun fact, 90%, 95% of the people who I just put in that category are going to flop. 99% are going to flop. So why not just put them out later fucking today and save yourself 3 months? Everybody fails. And the big thing that's been helping me and Drew is just fail fucking fast. As fast as you can, just fail. Keep going. Learn your lessons as soon as you can, because there's nothing worse than doing something that took you 4 months to prepare and you flopped on it. You might as well flop on it in 4 days.
Right.
I did that one time with the fucking, we put out a serum masterclass, and I spent a month on this commercial that I thought was going to be hot. It was like the masterclass style commercial. I got red cameras, you know what I'm saying? Hired some expensive video guys, spent so much time editing it, right? And it didn't do shit. It wasn't even worth shit, right? And I spent a whole month of my time working on it. Drew over there, on the other hand, has a cool project file from some of the serum sounds. He takes his iPhone, shoots the video, shakes his phone a little bit, and that ad did 100 times better than my shit I took a month to produce. And I'm like, dude, why didn't I just figure out more shit that's fast? You know what I'm saying? And because you need feedback. So the reason fast is important, one, you got to fail anyway, so you might as well do it quickly. But feedback is super important, especially when it comes to music or beat sales, or it doesn't matter what it is. You want to figure out what's working, what's not. So you need as much feedback as possible. So then if you put out shit, get feedback, fail a little bit, that feedback makes the product better. The product goes back out there, you get more feedback on it. And essentially that cycle, instead of waiting 3 months without feedback, silence, you get a lot of feedback in that cycle. And that's what Cymatics does a lot. We iterate really fast. People see us pumping shit nonstop all over the place. We've tried courses. We do this. We got plugins coming out. We try a lot of shit. We religiously cut the shit that's not working. The shit that's working good, we double down on it. You know what I'm saying? So like moving really fucking fast is always good.
Most definitely.
Even YouTubers taking 3 months to put out a video. I'm like, dude, put a video out every week, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah, man. And the same with artists, bro. Like one of the things I hate the most is an artist like, nah, bro, I'm waiting till my fan base is lit before this is the one. This is the one that's gonna get me a Grammy. This is blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, just put that shit out, because like even as a producer, like, bro, like the beats you make 4 or 5 months from now, you're gonna look back at the beats you're making now and be like, bro, like I'm way better than I was back then. So I hate that.
There's
like,
a lot of artists. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that just preach put out music every day.
Yeah,
and you know what it is, man. You need to have a bingeable catalog. Like YouTube's the same way. Like at the end of the day, if somebody absolutely loves your song, they cannot become diehard really off one song. They have to binge an entire catalog of stuff. And the same thing goes for like YouTube. You can have an amazing video. If you don't have a bingeable catalog, they're going to be done with you and move on. There's too much shit out there. You know what I'm saying? And you need to have enough stuff that people can binge. And for you to even get to that point, you got to keep putting stuff out. And by the way, the shit that sucks, just delete it. No one's going to remember it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Illmind, he said, talking about the Russ, you know how Russ drops, you know, he used to drop, what was he dropped a song every week or whatever, or was it every day back when before he came
he's
up?
Dropping shit every day. That dude's making mad shit.
Yeah. But now I've also talked to people who are like, man, that strategy don't work no more. It's different. The game's changed. The labels caught on. They're, you know what I mean? They know how to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't even know what you need a label for. You can just go straight. All the shit is just, you can do it direct now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just listening. Talk about Illminds in here. I was just listening to their shit. They were talking about how, you know, Russ is in a good position because he owns all his shit, just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like one of the bad things about labels and managers, especially, I hate fucking working with managers. I hate working with labels. I always work with the people directly, because at the end of the day, if I need to call, set up this meeting to organize something, and then, okay, we're going to see if this is a good fit, plan some crazy date in advance. I'm like, dude, this shit's way too slow for me. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? I got to move. I got to be able to call you direct and be like, yo, let's get this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop thinking and overthinking it. That's why I did, one of my biggest mistakes was doing a collab launch one time, right? Because, you know, we had an artist friend, you know, he's a good guy and stuff, but he's a little particular. Does that make sense? Okay. About all the different specific little details. And dude, that shit drove me nuts. We got to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to spend a week on this little graphic to make the thing you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's going to be put out there. People are going to like it or not. Like you need to move very quickly. So that's one thing that we do a lot, you know?
Now let's talk about this in Illmind. I'd love for you to chime in on this too. If you were an artist, Steven, or if you were managing an artist, would you just be putting out music, or how would you be trying to get more plays to it? Like would you do TikTok stuff, like paying influencers? Like would you build an email list?
I mean, first I would establish what the fuck you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to be just a pure artist versus a producer YouTuber guy versus a sample pack guy, yeah, they all might be producers, but dude, those are dramatically different businesses. You see what I'm saying? And I think that sometimes even taking advice from a guy like me or you, I would listen to you, Dylan, on building, for example, a great YouTube channel and a podcast. I would listen to me on maybe building like something like a sample pack or preset pack company or something like that, right? I think that sometimes, first off, I think that the advice is different. So I would first figure out what you're trying to do exactly, like very, very specifically, because they are, dude, a guy going for placements is dramatically different. I would not even feel comfortable giving advice for a placement type guy. Even though I'm friends with those guys and I talk to a lot of them, I know that's not my expertise. My expertise is business e-commerce type shit, right? So first you're talking about, would you collect emails? Would you do all this? I would first figure out what it is exactly that you're trying to do. And you can let it domino and do a lot of stuff in the industry, right? You're saying Illmind's in here. He does a lot of stuff, but I'm sure he wasn't doing a lot of stuff at the beginning, right? And having kind of like that laser focus is the first thing I would do. And you're talking about if your artist trying to get more plays. I mean, yeah, I probably would go something like TikTok, if I'm being honest. I would go TikTok nonstop. But I can't speak for that saying everybody should try that 100% Steven's right, because I just don't feel comfortable speaking from the place where I'm at. I'm good at fucking business shit.
I'm just saying, you know, hypothetically, you know, like just trying to get a different perspective on it, because I
would put out insane amount of TikTok content to the fucking, you know what I'm saying? I put out insane amount of music, insane amount of TikTok content probably.
Or whatever.
And I would, you know what I would do? You know, something that I'm good at, something I do have a lot of experience with, hosting your own shows. It's really, really easy to contact music venues and to pack out a show of 200 people. If you're pretty small, even 200-300 people, you know what I'm saying?
How? I would no fans?
I mean, it's not hard to get 200 fans. You know what I'm saying? We got 1.6 million emails. We got
in one city,
3 million people. No, not one city, but we have a considerable amount.
No. I'm talking about 200 people in one city, like for artists.
Yeah, I don't think that's hard. Yeah, I don't think that's hard to do, because I think what you do is you create a really cool night in your city. You know what I'm saying? So we were doing like the music industry tour, essentially, where people got to go up and share their music and stuff. And guess what? By default, I'm hosting the party. I was a cool guy, right? It's like the kid in high school whose parents going out of town. He's the cool guy. He automatically gets all the clout. You can host something cool in your city. Like, dude, in Atlanta, we got controller eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, outside of coronavirus times, one good strategy is just hosting events. A lot of times the venue's free if you can bring in the people. You know what I'm saying? Call the venues, grab a random Tuesday night. You don't want to compete with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday and Saturday anyways. I would just grab Monday, Tuesday nights. Nobody was doing shit. I would give them a cool event to come into. And by default, because I'm that guy, I'm getting the clout. And if you're trying to perform, get a couple people together. And I would run a lot of local stuff, actually, and build a diehard fan base.
So you're saying it's not about just like, oh, you come watch Steven Cymatics perform live. It's more like create an interactive event, like multiple shit going on. Like,
yeah. And then I would just plug myself in slowly until I'm that guy they're coming for. You see what I'm saying?
I get it.
And I've just had a lot of experience running events. It's not that hard to give people something fun to do. Sometimes, like, I'm not saying a guy like Kanye is going to go buy one of our packs per se, right? Or even whoever. Like, but sometimes we get some, that's a bit extreme, but sometimes we get high level people to come to an event just because they want to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dylan, I might not buy any of your stuff or even watch your show, but dude, you're like, yo, I'm hosting something. I'm like, shit, I'm not doing anything. I want to go down and see what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes even those live event stuff is a pretty good way to actually build a fan base. A little harder,
Yeah.
And you combine that with your strategies online, you can pick up momentum. And then if you dominate one city, you can you don't need to host a world tour and get fans everywhere. If you had a pretty healthy fan base in Atlanta, can host 5 shows a month that pack out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And and the power of, like, maybe booking someone else too to co-host or to be a party show. Like, before we had a podcast, before we really had a brand, we were selling out events because we had Zaytoven there. We had, like, just partner, not even partner, just booking those guys to be the show. It's like, make it less about you in the beginning, like you just said. Like, people were coming to see Zaytoven. I'll be humble enough to say that it wasn't like, oh my god, producer-grind event, because we weren't shit at that point. But we were kind of piggybacking off of Zay's name, using that to build our brand at the same time. And now we can do shows, and it's not always just about who's the headline producer that you got coming there. It's our brand has that power a little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just be the opener.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, like, that's if you want to go down the touring route.
Yeah. But man, I think a lot of artists I talk to, like, it's hard for them to humble themselves down enough to do that, though, which is crazy. And because man, I've honestly recommend shit like that. Like, man, book someone and then just open up for them, and they're like, man, I don't want to do that. I want to be the one that what I mean. I'm like, well, you're never gonna get there if you don't fucking do shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the EDM, where a lot of people just do, like, for example, a lot of people blow up off remixes, right? You remix a famous pop song, you remix a famous rap song, whatever it may be. And essentially what you're doing is that you're taking an audience that already exists, you're remixing a song, so they're more likely to listen to a remix because they already vibe with the first artist. You see what I'm saying? And you're piggybacking off of that fan base. There's a lot of stuff you can do that even in person.
100%, man. 100%, man. Man, you got some time for some live Q&A? Let's see what other kind of topics.
Let's do it, man. Let's hit it.
Let's go, man. Hey, mods, can you guys spam that Zoom link for me? Let people know they can join the chat. Ilmine says, if you make a song every day, literally, even if you still suck after a year doing that, you're still going to be better than you were 1 year ago. That's facts. Jay Sewell says that's that compound interest. Yeah, facts.
People that suck usually don't work. Dude, we got people sometimes that tell us they've been making music for 5 years. They ain't really been making music for 5 years. They've been fucking around with it once every couple months. And you can hear it in the sound instantly. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Me and Drew were talking this morning. We're like, dude, 99% of people could get way better mix and stuff, because we get frustrated listening to these song contests sometimes and the shit's not good, Just sound selection, man.
Oops. One second, Chris. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Steve.
So me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just picking better fucking sound selection, man. Like, better sounds, better drums and shit. Just selecting them off the rip, no processing, no nothing. Just better sound selection. You'd be surprised.
Man, there's some people, like you said,
get better.
There's some people that'll like come into our beat reviews and you know what I mean, they'll put in the email, been making beats for 3 years, 5 years, but it's like, bro, it's like you downloaded the first drum kit you ever saw on Reddit.
And you're
like
counting that.
Yeah, you're just using that like the stock sounds basically, like, you know, I don't know. But Chris,
hey, you know, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say real quick, one piece of advice I think a lot of people don't spend your money on some Facebook ads or some promo or none of that shit. If you have, like, let's say a couple $100 laying around, you'd be surprised at how many high level producers, like really high level guys with placements, top level guys, not top level, but high level guys, especially how good they are at production, would take production lessons for $100 an hour. I'm not even kidding with you, man. So many people. You'd be surprised how many mixing engineers be like, $200 for an hour and a half of my time? Fuck yeah. But that goes a long way.
And you're building a relationship at the same time.
And you're building a free relationship. Nothing better than building a relationship and figuring out how to pay someone money. I'm not even kidding.
Man, because you do 3 sessions with them, you know, maybe they'll be like, hey, bro, whenever you're in my city, man, pull up, we'll link up. You know, you can come to the studio. You know what I mean? If you're cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, that shit is the best way to link up with people. Oh, you were telling me you linked up with Zaytoven, right? Because you were going to his shit?
Yeah, I was like the only person that went to the first show and the second show. So they recognized me, like, yo, bro. And then like literally after that, they was like, yo, I was at his crib like 3 days later.
Dude, I hardly could name you any of our customers, right? Online, our fans or stuff like that. But the people that I've met in person, I still remember their faces. Something about that.
Yeah, man. Building that relationship. People don't, a lot of people are like, I'm spending this much money. What am I getting? What's my ROI? For where it's like, bro, it's not an instant ROI. You got to pay to play. You got to pay to build. Chris 90s, what's going on, man? Welcome to the morning show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I just had a quick question for you, Steven. Like, I was watching the Simon Servita podcast, and like he was saying, like, for like upcoming like producers, like how important is like music theory, and like he was saying like it's not, like, because like you could drag a drum loop and then like a MIDI loop and then like the beat's done. Like, do you like agree with that? Or
yeah, I mean, that's going to take you only so far. I think a lot of people that take shortcuts in the long run, it's definitely 100% going to hurt them. But another thing to think about, like, I think production is only getting easier. If you look at the progression of when people were, you know, even making music in the 80s, every single year up until now, it's literally getting easier and easier. And I think something important to think about is like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be really, really good at? What do you have fun doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, if you absolutely hate making melodies, then fucking use melody loops. But for example, if you hate using melody loops, then that might not even make you like, if one of your strengths is creating original stuff, then maybe using melody loops is a disadvantage for you. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it is actually personal preference of who you want, like what do you want to be known for? What strengths are you really good at? For example, the way me and Drew made music and our paths are dramatically different. Drew is really, really, really technical. Sound design, amazing. His engineering, his sound's amazing. If I were to try to be that person and tweak knobs all day, I would be the fucking worst producer ever, because that just wasn't really my thing. You see what I'm saying? By following a little bit like what I talked about before, your personal strengths, I think that's an important element to that question you just asked, because there's a thousand. Illmind, he's talking. He makes way different music than, let's say, Mike Will made it versus an EDM guy versus whoever. I think a lot of it has to do with your personal, like, kind of awareness of what you're good at, what you want to do, you know, what you want to be known for.
Preference. And also people say that loops are cheating too. Like, how
Bro, I come from EDM, man. In EDM, they say presets are cheating. You can't even use a drum. You have to process your own drums from scratch. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all the questions I had. So yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for letting me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate coming on.
I see that merch too, man. Appreciate the support, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was on your I thought he was on your squad, dude.
Hey, he is squad, man. Hey, man, if you support the merch, your squad, your gang, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. All right, man. We got a couple more. Let's bring him in, man. Camilo.
You got live questions. I was expecting like a read off.
Oh yeah, no. This is how we do it, man.
It's official.
Cool. Thanks for letting me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate coming on.
I see that merch too, man. Appreciate the support, man. Mute that YouTube video, please.
I thought he was on your squad, dude.
Hey, he is squad, man. Hey, man. If you support the merch, your squad.
I hear a repeat of myself.
Yeah, I feel like I went back in time real quick. Camilo, what's going on, bro? You there?
What's up, man?
Yo.
Yeah.
Welcome to the morning show, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just getting some ramen. I don't know if you want to see this.
No, you're good.
What up?
What's up? I have a question about how did you meet Drew? Like, how did you find that person that complemented the things you were kind of lacking?
Yeah. So I talked about bumping into him, and you know, we were, you know, we played baseball together in seventh grade and stuff like that. But honestly, the thing I kind of glossed over and I didn't mention is that not only was I trying a bunch of different businesses, but I was constantly the guy that would hit up a buddy and try to start some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just start some sort of cool idea and stuff. And in reality, to get to Drew and to find somebody I kind of really synergize with, I actually went through about 12 to 15 different other guys. And I'm the kind of guy who literally just goes to my phone book and I start scrolling down. If I see somebody, for example, I need to hire people, first thing I do is look at my phone book and start scrolling. Because you realize your personal network is fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? And it might be a childhood friend, it might be a cousin, it might be who you don't know. And at the end of the day, you're going to get bad business partners or people you team up with who just don't work hard, who don't hustle, who don't do anything like that. But I think one of the best ways to counter that is kind of that fail fast advice. Just hit up and try to work with as many people as possible. You don't have to sign contracts or do a bunch of crazy shit. Like, dude, just do something small together. Like, hey, let's put out one song next Monday. You see what I'm saying? Start small. It's kind of like dating, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to overcommit or anything like that. But one of the ways that I found Drew was I actually went through a lot of my other buddies who weren't as good fit. You know what I'm saying? I saw the weaknesses in working with other people. And so then when I tried so many people, eventually I bumped into Drew and I'm like, okay, cool. This is actually working. Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. You just have to try a lot of people and don't be afraid to just try projects with people that fail for like a couple fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Like between my music project, my random business ventures and random shit Drew was doing, his music project, we flopped on a bunch of random shit until we hit something. You see what I'm saying? And dude, fuck it. You know, he's worked with different people. You gotta do a lot. Your volume. Like, have you tried to have a partner?
No, not at the moment. I've always just worked by myself. I recently just found a studio that's next to my house, and I'm working with some people now. They're like a trio, and that's been good. Just collaborating with other people. I learn a lot from that because I'm like, oh, you guys do things way differently. But it's a good thing to like. I kind of just filter through it. So I'm like, oh, I like this. I don't like this. And that's where I've started. But I just started doing it.
And what are you trying to do exactly?
I'm an artist. But I have a really musician background, so I'm really good at composing. So I was thinking about doing something related to loops, but at the moment, like I don't have a name for myself. And a lot of that, like a lot of people buying loops has to do with like who you are and like kind of the history behind it. And I don't have that at the moment. So I was thinking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And what's your best case scenario in 10 years?
In 10 years, mostly producing. I really want to focus mostly in like I want my artistry to support kind of.
Yeah, but 10 years from now, where the best case scenario, you popped off, where are you at?
Mostly like just a big city that does a lot of music, like LA, for example, but that maybe shift. But just like helping as many artists as I can achieve their sound. That's really what I want to do.
Okay, and then how are you have a big fan base? How big's your fan base? Like specifics?
No, I'm small. I'm
I'm saying 10 years. We're talking 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah, what's your dream?
Yeah, paint me specifically how much money you're making, where you're making it, who you're working with. You can use names, you know what I'm saying? In 10 years, what are you looking like?
I really want to be like a Pharrell, like somebody that has my loyal fan base, but I am known for just working with other people a lot more, just like people that would be big in the pop world, but also like helping new sounds rise. That's really what I'm trying to do.
Okay, cool. So you need to paint as vivid of a picture of where you look in 10 years, every single thing. I don't care if you're talking about fucking your cars or money, doesn't matter what it is, paint that picture. And then when you get on the phone with these people, like go to your phone book, talk to them, talk about that vision.
Right.
Don't talk about where you are now. Talk about what you're seeing in your head. You see what I'm saying? Because when I go, I've been pitching people on crazy shit for now a long time, right? It's only recently that it's come true in the past 5 years, but I constantly paint the vision. Even now, when I get new people, I'm not like, if I get a new employee, I'm like, yo, you're going to be doing this task. The task is just remedial. Any task is remedial, right? But the bigger picture vision is how you get people on your team. It's how you get partners, right? They have to see what you're seeing. Right now, what you just described to Pharrell, 99% of your friends and family think you're fucking crazy, right?
Facts.
One thing low key that I do that I think is probably my biggest strength of all is getting people on the team, on board with the idea, want to work with Cymatics and stuff. And what I do is I really paint the vision. You focus on the vision. And obviously it's your job to execute, right? And you just work your ass off trying to get it. And it might take a long fucking time, but at the end of the day, if you want to get people on your team, they have to see what you're seeing. And you have to help them because they can't naturally see it. You know what I'm saying? And that'll go a long way into convincing people to at least try to work with you, you know?
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You, bro. Cool. Yo, Steven.
Appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Really
yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Yo, Steven, channel Drew
Yeah.
right now. Channel Drew right now for this question. Is it worth buying a real NPC for the samples? Been really considering buying one just to switch up my process to make beats, says Drillbit.
You said channel Drew in this question? Like
Yeah,
channel
like
his energy in?
because I know you guys like to buy stints just to get inspiration, get new sound.
He said NPC?
Yeah.
So I fucked with NPC a lot. Jay Black used to come over here all the time, and he would actually teach me a lot of shit. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fun. There's no way in fucking hell it matches up to a doll. I don't think it's even close, man. I'm not saying you can't do cool stuff. There's a lot of guys who can do cool stuff, but at the end of the day, if you look at the workflow of like, especially even Drew and Ableton and stuff, it's not even close. I would even recommend Ableton over FL, and I'm being an FL user. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is $1,200. It's a high barrier to entry. I think there's a lot of hurdles that a lot of NPC guys have on the mixing side and stuff like that. If you're trying to be a live performer, have a cool YouTube channel, Instagram, and kind of do some cool shit, I think NPC is great. But in today's world, I really think the DAW is superior, and it's only going to get more superior. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, stuff. You said you would use Ableton over FL?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff Drew does. It's better. I think I use FL, and I don't want to switch off of it.
Yeah.
And coming from an FL user, I just see a lot of the stuff that's built into Ableton, and I actually like it better. I mean, shit, some people like Pro Tools, some people like Logic, you know?
Yeah. But that's why, man, I like, because I would love to try to make that switch, but the little I do make beats, it's like I don't want to spend 3 hours learning how to do a piano roll in Ableton. I just want to, make beats for 3 hours in FL since I'm already quick. You know what I mean?
And honestly, my focus right now isn't that. So like, yeah, I don't want to go through the learning curve. Like my main focus right now is to grow Cymatics into like the next native instruments. You know what I'm saying? So like my time is better elsewhere. And plus, I have fun doing the little tricks and shit that I know in FL Studio.
Yeah, I do it mostly for fun now at this point. Joe Ogle, man, welcome to the morning show, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I got a bit of a different question, kind of more about your the Cymatics business. And I was wondering, do you worry now that you're doing more of your big exclusive sample packs like Cobra and Vibrance and Chaos and Legends, you're releasing them more frequently? Do you worry about the value of them decreasing if they're coming out more frequently?
No, I don't think it
Does
really
that make
devalues.
sense?
Well, I mean, that would only make sense if the product was getting worse because of the speed, right? We wouldn't sacrifice speed for the product quality getting worse, but we think it's getting better because we're expanding the team. So I think as long as you hold on to quality, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, some of the benchmarks is just even like how much, so for example, we just launched Legends, right? But the reason, we're able to do both, we have a big loop team that was constantly working on Chaos, right? And if you look at our Chaos beta pack we just released, I mean, it's already has over probably 50,000 downloads or something like that in a couple days.
Yeah.
So the interest is obviously there. If you're doing the same shit, it's not going to be there. Every single project that me and Drew has a new vision and story. And sometimes
because they're real different, eh? I just realized that then, Chaos is real different to.
Yeah, exactly.
Legends.
So Chaos is the whole goal is insane amount of melodies, really top quality stuff. But for example, Legends, it was all about bringing old school synthesizers back and stuff like that. And that stuff doesn't always necessarily make more money. But the thing is that those interesting projects really push the needle on product quality. Okay. And for example, we did a project called Dreams. It wasn't big as necessarily a big hip hop product, but it taught us a lot about processing through old tape machines and these old school, old school hardware stuff that we really just weren't used to using. And it pushes our product into new categories. Like, for example, our loops before and after Legends are completely different because now that we have all these old school synthesizers, the Juno 6 and all those different things, it sounds a different type of way, and it's evolved the way we think about future products. So essentially by doing the Legends, learning about all the synthesizer stuff, pushing our team to do something new and creative has now made every product after Legends better. So even though we'll do something kind of off pitch just because we just want to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's worth it. It's worth it because it makes all the future stuff a lot better. And I would say that that's something a lot of music producers can take about their music. Don't be afraid to push the barrier. You know what I'm saying? Like a long time ago, we did a project called Viper. One of the things that made it so exciting was we pushed session musicians to the max, right? That was the concept for that. We put in as many session musicians, harpists, and all that kind of stuff. And then now we kind of have that skill in our pocket, right? Like if you made an entire album with Serum, after that, you're going to be pretty good with Serum. So even if you do other stuff in the future, you can always whip out that skill. You see what I'm saying? So kind of back to what I was talking about with Dylan earlier, we're constantly trying to find ways to push the products into new categories. You know what I'm saying? Of wow, now because dude, there's so many people doing loop packs, man. Dylan, how many people doing loop packs you see out there?
hundreds of thousands.
How are you going to separate yourself?
Everyone.
You see what I'm saying? Like
people make
like,
beats
yeah, we
for a
got a
week
big
and they got a
market.
loot pack.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you see a lot of more producers leaning towards that. So like, how are you going to make yourself stick out? You know, and then we kind of stuck our foot in the ground with doing the royalty free thing. We got, you know, everything really nicely tracked out now, MIDI and stems and stuff, that's all included. But now we're like, okay, the sound, not only is the melodies good, but how can we take the sound to the next level? Let's try to incorporate some different shit. And honestly, man, it shows. Like the people respond to that kind of stuff much, much better. And it's taken our company a long way recently. That's one of those things I said Drew was able to focus on product 4 months ago. And that's why we've been taking off, is because we've been doing a lot more shit like this. Like, dude, so on top of the plugins, on top of the melody pack, we're about to drop Chaos. He's also got a bunch of different drum machines and stuff he's been buying to really create different style stuff. Dude, we were looking at a reverb that was 30 grand. It was like a reverb from the 1970s. We're like, man, what happens if we run different sounds into this thing? You know what I'm saying? And talk about that. What kind of textures can we get? So we're not afraid to drop money on random gear and stuff, because Drew and the team, they really nerd out on that kind of stuff. But the outcome, even if it isn't direct money, the product quality over the long run is a really big deal.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as well. It's real cool to hear like what you've got to say, and from someone who's like brought up a company as successful as Cymatics. It's pretty cool. Just have this live
no,
stream.
Thanks, man. It's cool talking to you. I've been stuck in quarantine. I haven't talked to many people. I haven't even Cymatics. This is the first time out of the woodworks in months.
All right, Joe, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Damn, bro. So you still haven't been to Virginia, man?
Dude, I haven't been out of my house, bro. Why do you think I got this corona hair, man?
Oh, man.
I'm turtling up. I run Cymatics and I play video games after work.
You got to get out, man. You're a healthy young man. You got to get out and about, man.
Dude, honestly, man, I started loosening up a little bit, and then Jordan and Lisa, two people heard from me, got it, and then seeing them kind of getting wrecked by it, I was like, I'm going back in the.
How are they doing? Are they on the better side of recovery now?
Yeah, but it's kind of seems like just a long haul. They're definitely doing better, but Lisa has kind of a bad cough, and just I don't, it looks like it's just gonna be something that lingers for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It takes a second to get over. But like for me, dude, if I got coronavirus, I'm out for 3 weeks. That's a lot of fucking unproductivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I get the flu and I can't do shit.
I would hit those ginger shots and lemon shots, wheatgrass shots. You ever been to Artist Garden? My
aunt actually owns a place called Goodness Grocery. It's an organic grocery store, and they have all kinds of shit like that. It's really, really fire stuff.
It's in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's in Smyrna. Or it's in the perimeter. It's over Vinings kind of area.
Okay, yeah. Roddy, man, what's good? Yeah. Did you connect? Some people don't know how to connect once they get in here. Let's see.
I thought you left me hanging at the beginning when I was just staring at the black screen. It's like, host will invite you in. I'm like, Dylan, it's 10:07. Where you at?
had to warm it up, man. How many people we got in here? We got 300. We had 343. Now we got 330. So we're still going up, man.
That's what's up. I got 83 that's been listening on my Instagram live.
Oh, you're on IG live. Okay, bet.
I just kept it running at the beginning.
Hey, man, you didn't in the contract. You saw that this is exclusive. It can't be on any other channels, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, you signed that NDA. I thought you signed the NDA.
I did sign the NDA. Should I turn it off right now or what?
No, I'm just fucking with you. Yo, Lucien, what's good, bro? You here? Man, you guys are dropping the ball, man. Let me see.
You know what's funny about NDAs, man? People try to get me signing NDAs. I'm like, I don't need to hear your fucking idea. I was like, trust me, I don't care that much. I'm gonna do it all.
Yo.
Should I turn it off right now? Or? No, I'm just fucking with you.
Yo, Lucien, what's good, bro? Can you mute the YouTube, bro?
Man, you guys are dropping the ball, man.
Yo. I don't even know if he knows he's in the room.
Yeah.
Mac Joseph, you there, bro?
Yeah, man.
Can you mute the YouTube video, please?
Yeah, I just muted it.
Okay, bet. What's going on, bro? Welcome to the morning show.
Hey, man, you guys are like responsible for more than half of my music right now.
Hey, that's what's up.
Like, yeah, especially like Cymatics, like you guys pretty much own all.
Okay, my mic was muted, man.
Hold on, Lucien. Bro.
Oh.
Hold on. There you go, bro.
Yeah, like two things. One, conversation you guys are talking about couldn't be more relevant. Was just having this conversation literally like about an hour ago with my videographer. We have an artist coming out, and we're just afraid that he's just gonna just kind of go rogue and You know what I mean? It's very, very scary when you have an artist that can kind of like grab your music, and especially if it has samples in it, it can get pretty scary.
Yeah.
And another thing is, man, have you guys tried Luna yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
Jump on Luna ASAP. I can't read the future, but this is for a fact. Luna is really gonna take over a lot of studios, mainly for two reasons. It has, I think I was telling Dylan, one of your coworkers, trying to remember his name.
TB.
But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, tell him to definitely jump on there. But it has two incredible features. One is the ARM feature. Trying to remember what the acronym stands for. But basically, it gives you like super low latency because it's dependent on the actual your Apollo unit. And then it has the Neve summing, which is like, there is nothing that has Neve, like that incredible Neve summing that's an attachment with Luna at this point. So that's my gym.
Hey man, I gotta let you know, bro. You got the worst hiss on your mic right now. It's like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that shit is like
you got
a fan blowing on the mic. Yeah, what's the question, bro?
Oh yeah, it is my fan. But yeah, the main question is like, how do I kind of avoid, like a situation with an artist, in that situation where like you're kind of afraid that they can go kind of rogue and.
Okay, so the first, sorry, yeah, so my dog's going off. Okay. Anyways, my first, 1 second here, I got it.
We went from hiss to bark.
You get my audio?
Yeah,
Dylan?
hold on, Lucien. We got you next, bro.
Okay,
all right,
got you,
back.
man.
So Sophia was going off downstairs. Somebody rang the doorbell. Ready for that same question? Can I answer it?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You shouldn't have jumped in at the beginning. I'm telling you right now, like there was probably too much commitment early on. If you're struggling with that problem now, I'm saying to a certain point, it's not inevitable, and you never should let anybody's future lie in their hands. I'm gonna tell you right now, everything. I don't need a single influencer. I don't need a single other brand for Cymatics to run. I actually operate better when we just focus on ourselves. But in general, one, you don't want to depend on other people in the music industry or any industry to make you successful. Build more strategies that are more reliant on yourself. That's why I really don't like labels or anything like that. And then the second thing is that you probably jumped in sooner than you should have, right? It doesn't matter if somebody's good at me. It doesn't matter if somebody's the best fucking producer artist in the world. If they fucking suck as a person, don't work with them. You know what I'm saying? I do that all the time. I got so many people that I don't work with, not because they don't have big brands, they couldn't help us or anything like that, but they fucking suck. And you don't want to work with people like that. It's not fun. Who cares about the money, success, and all that kind of stuff? So this might have been the wrong character you walked into at the beginning if this is something you're worrying about. And I would just say cut your losses and dip out, because at the end of the day, if it's happened once, it's probably going to happen again.
Most definitely. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've seen him. He turned his mic off, but he said thumbs up.
Cool. Hey, Dylan, I got time for like one or two more. And I got
Yeah. We only got one more, then we're done anyways. But appreciate you, Mac.
Go for 4 hours sometimes.
Oh, yeah. We go crazy. Lucien, what's going on, bro?
All right, everything's good. Thanks so much for the information that you're sending out there. I go back a ways with some of the equipment that you're now developing and moving forward, but I was wondering what's on the horizon for some of the things that come out of it.
So for us, I mean, like I said, so like our sample pack business is thriving better than ever, especially our melody loops and coming out with all the different drum samples and all that kind of great stuff. That's always in motion, and we're pushing that business. But the thing that I'm probably most excited about is recently we have started developing a VST team and found a great partner who has a lot of experience in developing plugins. And our idea is that there's a lot of shit in music that's complicated. There's a lot of plugins that have so much stuff that's not even useful. There's so many presets and different sound pack plugins that aren't even necessary. And one of the big things for Cymatics is to really move into the VST realm. Like we're going to make a very, very aggressive play into really starting off with a lot of essential plugins and effects plugins that'll make your shit sound good. We have a low end enhancer that's going to sound really good. That's coming out soon. There's going to be a lo-fi plugin probably coming after that. And then after we tackle a lot of these essential essential effects plugins, one thing we're going to tackle is we're going to build something kind of like a contact library to really take pretty much our own like sound player that we're going to do a lot of cool, interesting, customized stuff to and start releasing sound banks for. And it'll probably actually be free too. But yeah, one of the future is to kind of go into just in general, every single plugin you could think of and take the plugin industry in the same way we kind of aggressively attack the sample pack industry and try to innovate as much as possible. Take that same heat to the plugin side.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. The next thing, we'll have to open a portal with one of your plugins.
A what?
A portal. And be able to move through that portal into the future. And I think that's where that's going. Jimi Hendrix used to talk about that, opening a portal with the guitar and certain frequencies.
I mean, that dude was probably, he was probably on some different shit while he was jamming out there. Bro.
Yeah, I want to thank you so much for the information. And that's it. That's it for me. I'm going to go back to my FL Studio, which I think is amazing. Your plugins work well with that. So everything's good. It's all well. Peace and blessings, gentlemen.
Same to you,
all right,
bro.
later, man.
Cool, man. Hey, Steven, man, we appreciate you tapping in, bro. Man, so what if you could leave us off, man, with the best advice that you could give everyone to just have some homework right now? What should everyone leave this episode and start their day off doing, man?
Yeah, I think lately I've been really for producers being careful to listen to guys like you and me. Like me and Dylan are business people. We run a great business in the music industry. Sometimes being an artist or being somebody trying to get placements requires a different set of stuff. Sometimes you need to think more about your production side of things. And I know that, it's very temptatious and you're getting a little bit of shiny object syndrome when we're dropping all these gems and stuff, but I would be cautious and put any information you hear online through a strong filter and start thinking more. I think people should start thinking more about themselves and where they're at, what their strengths are, because something that works great for me, I promise you, if you're not like me, it's not going to work as good for you. And something that works great for you, vice versa, is probably not going to work as great for me if I'm not also that person. And considering how unique a lot of people are, I think that there needs to be a lot more focus on yourself, your music, and exactly where you're trying to go. And honestly, focusing more on doing stuff that makes more sense to you than just chasing what every single person's doing. This person's doing this YouTube video, TikTok thing's hopping off, Instagram thing. Yeah, there might be a lot of cool ideas. There might be 100 great ideas out there, but one of those ideas really vibes with you. You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. Most definitely, man. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Definitely wish you and Cymatics a bunch of success, man. And I know we'll tap in soon, but appreciate having you on the show, bro.
Yeah, appreciate everyone. And man, it's been fun. We'll do something in real life when Corona calms down.
Most definitely, man.
I'll come out of the woodworks. All right, take it easy, man.
Yes, sir. Yo. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So that wraps us up for today, man. Hope everybody enjoyed the show, man. We will be back tomorrow. We got some more interviews on the way this week, so keep tapping back in, man. Catch you guys later, man.